So I got my 2015 Chevy Silverado, the 3500 here, the 6.6 liter Duramax. And ever since I bought it, let me try to get the sun out of the way. And you look at the dash, you see how terrible dusty it is, and that's all underneath the glass. It was a Texas truck, and they must have traveled some mighty dusty roads to end up getting it in there. And let me turn the key on. Turn the key. See there, you can barely, with the sun shining on, you can barely see the lights. And you can't see at all that hardly the screen. You can slightly see the snowflake if you look real close. It's the warning light that it might be icy outside. Because it's cold. And this thing thinks it's smart about warning about that. But anyway, like in the, if you're on the road and the sun is shining on there, you can't even, I mean, yeah, you can see the gauges, sort of, depending, which even with the speed gauge over here, it's not as dusty, but it's the little screen, but that screen in the middle there, you can't even see how fast you're going on that, the digital part, you can't even see that, and because of the dust, if the sun's shining on there. And so I decided to take it apart and clean it. I actually started before I thought about it, taking the short videos. So here's the plastic. This is the one that was on the dash, like so. And I just popped it up. Yeah, all it's got is those little clips there. You just take a hole at the front here and just pop it off. So then there's a bolt there, one up here in the middle, and another one here. And I've already taken those three out, and they're laying here with my screwdriver. So, and then this piece just pulls out, and here on the driver's side, it just stuck down in there. It kind of pulls out and up like that. And the other side's the same way. And it should just, like that, slide right up out of there. Another thing, I had to turn the key on part ways and put this lever all the way as far down as I could to get it out. So I got that part done. I'm kind of new at this myself. I'm just kind of trying to see how it goes. I thought this glass piece would come off now and I get in there, but it don't. So I'm just hoping that it's not actually sealed. Oops, happened to hit the horn. I'm a little bit afraid that glass might be sealed on there where it won't come off. I guess if I look at the edge there, it seems like it. I don't know, so I got another 2 screws on the top there, and 2 more down at there's just the one there, the lower one's something else, the upper one, and another one, the same thing on this side. I'll take those 4 screws out and see if the gauges come out with the cluster, or with the glass piece and that plastic, or if the gauges stay. Hopefully they stay. So I'll go ahead and take that off and we'll find out what happens. Okay, so I got it figured out. I didn't get it apart. As you can see, there's right here where my finger's at, and then over here's another one. They just clip on right here and over there. There's 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. I did one side and then the other, and then the glass piece just came right off of there. So here's this part. I mean, just look at look at all the dust on that thing. I mean, it's horrible. Thing looks terrible. So I don't know if I'd be better off unhooking it. Hopefully the truck won't go crazy or something. I think I'm stealing parts off of it. But yeah, I mean, even inside and it sucks with the sun kind of, even inside of where the hot cluster was, there's just dust everywhere underneath in there. So, anyway, I guess that's how you get it apart. to clean it if you need to. Just be careful not to mess with those gauges or hit those or do something with, ruin them or something. So yeah, I'll go ahead and clean it, and I'll start popping it back together again. And go from there. It'll sure be nice to be able to see that little screen with the in the center there once it's clean again. So, all right, I'll go ahead and get that done. So I went ahead and took the wiring off. Yeah, here in the shade you can see better how terrible dusty that thing is. So I'm gonna take my cloth and I might go. I think I got some of those little wipes, car cleaning wipes in the car. I might go grab a couple of those and see if those don't. I took a piece of towel and it's not gonna it's just not gonna clean it nicely. Like, I mean, it's so terrible dirty that it's gonna take something with a little bit of some kind of slight soap or something on it to get it the best. So yeah, I'll clean her up and see what she looks like. Okay guys, so after putting my dash back together, watch the gauges, the RPM one and the speedometer and the other side, and my fuel gauge. You can see the fuel gauge, watch how it acts. See, it goes up to there and then it stops there. And it's probably about half full right now. So for some reason those three, the RPM and the speedometer, don't do nothing. They stay right there. And my fuel gauge goes up about 1/4 inch and then it just stops there. So I'm going to take this dash apart again and see if I can figure out what's the problem. I don't understand that, so I'll get started on that and see what I can find. Okay, well, I think I figured out what I had done wrong. So, yeah, this gauge and the speedometer, the RPM gauge, and the feel would stay down, and the feel would actually, it would stay, when I turn the key on, it would go up to, it would be like down there, and then I turn the key on, it would go up to about there, and then it would stop. So I just took it apart, and I realized what happened. These gauges, they kind of, when you unplug them, they just kind of fall around like that. So this one just happened to be on the, like that when I put it together, and these here, they couldn't make a complete circle anyway. But these two here, and the fuel gauge is, see, it's already as far as it goes. Right there is full, and so I should have made sure I had it back here. Oops, let me try this again. See, these two here, they can't go farther than that, and they hit. So, but apparently I was lucky enough, I just was lucky enough that this one, and this one were back here, where they belong, on the empty side, or where they usually are when the truck's shut off and the key's out. But these two, the speed or the rump per minute, RPM or whatever, and the speedometer gauge here, and the feel, I happen to have them laying over here. So see, they were over center. They were over, like, as you can see, they were over center. So instead of making a spin backwards, going this way, they were trying to continue coming back up here where they were, and they couldn't because they're hit. I mean, right there, it's as far as it goes. Both of these are that way. This one was the same way. So, and this one was actually, yeah, like that too. So it couldn't go. It couldn't go on. It's like it can only go so far, and it hits because it's already made around. So I just had to push these back where they are, or I think that's what it is. And as for the feel, it was the same way. See, that's as far as it can go. When I would turn the key, it would go back. It would be like there when I took the key out, and as soon as I turned the key on, it would go up there, and then it would stop. And that's it's already made. It's wrong. It can't go farther. That's why. So if I go that way, it's fine. So I'm going to plug it back in, make sure I got all my gauges where they belong this time, and I'm pretty sure that's going to take care of the problem. So we'll plug it in and find out. Alright, here comes the test. Hey, look at that. My fuel gauge went right up where it belonged. And let me start it up here and see what the... I'm pretty sure everything else is going to work too. Yeah, look at that. See there? Working just fine now. Well, I'm glad to see that, because I didn't know what in the world to think it was for a while there. So, that's all it was. I just literally happened to have these things a whole spun over. I just happened to have the out of all the ones, it happened to be the fuel gauge and RPM gauge, and I need to get something done with this thing one of these days. Oops, a little too far. I just happen to have my RPM gauge, the fuel gauge, and this other gauge, which this speedometer gauge. It just I still have my speed on that little center screen, which I hardly look at the gauge anyway. But it's just, I'm the kind of person that I can't stand if a gauge or something don't work, even if it's. But as for the feel, that really sucked, because I knew I couldn't. I knew I had quite a bit of feel in. I could like look on my dash or turn this knob just until it showed me how many miles I had left to feel. But like I said, I can't stand something not working. So yeah, if you're watching this video and you were doing it, all you have to do is just make sure these why can't I think of it, hands, whatever, are all the way back where they belong. Make sure they're not make sure that they're not all the way around and as far as they go, because like these, they were just the way they are now, but they couldn't come any farther because they had already made one whole round, so they couldn't come on up. So you got to make sure you get them back, and that'll do it. Then they'll work. So anyway, that's all there was to it. So hopefully this video will help you guys, and thanks for watching. God bless. And if you haven't already done so, just hit that subscribe button for more videos with the truck and the whatever, the cars or whatever I'm happen to be working on. So, all right, until the next video, God bless you, and you have a great one.